Snow, rain, wind, ice, all the weather in 1 week. This is up there with some of the worst conditions on the ground after snow, and when it all thaws out, ugh, and the ground is just wet. Our first proper snow of the winter.
Found the snow shovel anyway.
Nick's decided to come along. So we're just feeding round, or going to start feeding round now, starting with the lamb group. So just some hay to deliver. It's not actually a very nice day. It's like visibility is poor, very foggy and like misty, but it is a lot milder than the previous days. So the lovely views of yesterday are not appearing today. Yesterday we started on a project up here. This is the top part of the campsite. So we normally have a tent here and a tent here, a bell tent. We took the tents down, dismantled the flues and everything because they have a little wood burner in, and then we've been working away, making some changes to this top area. But today the snow has stopped work. So yeah, I'm convinced that the starlings are eating the poo, because they're around where all the sheep have been sleeping and pooing. It's absolutely grim underfoot. Just so wet now. My hand's cold, so I can't really hold my phone right, but just so wet. It's all melting. It started melting yesterday, and so everything is just wet and horrible. This is up there with some of the worst conditions on the ground after snow and when it all thaws out. So everything looks a mess today, and I've just been to check on the cows' water. We put this new IBC in and it's been frozen for a few days, so they've been drinking out of the baths. I've just gone to check on the IBC and there's no water in it, so I'm guessing the water's drained away somehow in the process of thawing. I don't know if the connectors are broken or what's happened, so it just feels a bit like the time and energy that we put into trying to make a new system seems to not be working. But that's Nick's favourite thing, is to troubleshoot and say it's all for the greater good. So with all the chat about the feeders in the previous video, I thought I would show this area here is one of the areas that Dad had some stone put down. So as you can see, they've been round it and they're not in the mud at all. They're perfectly fine, and the same over here. Maybe this one's a little bit less well stoned, but anyway, this area, even in the wettest of conditions, is okay. And yes, it is very miserable today. The worst kind of weather, it doesn't get a lot more miserable than this. From the white, bright snow to the very wet, mucky, dirty aftermath. So I'm just going feeding round, and it is very miserable and not nice underfoot at all. Been slipping and sliding all over the place this morning. So it's pretty wet today, wet underfoot, raining as well, and low cloud, very cold wind, feeling quite raw, and the ground is just wet. So I'm hoping to bring a little bit of joy to the sheep's lives today with some hay for the feeders. Been and checked around all the highlands. They've still got just enough hay for the next day or two, so it's mainly sheep today, and then probably some indoor jobs. I think we have got all kinds of campsite planning work to do. People asking about next year, and because we're doing some digging to the site, we're making some changes. We need to know how to categorise it, get the pictures online and all that kind of thing. But yeah, work, there's always something to do even when the weather's crap. So I'll move the bucket a little bit. It's absolutely grim. Grim, grim, grim. But we will keep going. It's another miserable day. Lots of rain this morning. After the snow melted yesterday, it's back to just rain, rain, rain. So wet. I think it rained all day yesterday. Been hammering it down this morning. It's raining now. And gosh, yeah, it's just miserable. It is the epitome of miserable. Feeling fairly cold too. The sheep seem fairly chilled. Yesterday was, am I in focus? Yesterday morning was so miserable, it was chucking it down with rain. This morning we're back to the frost and it's a lot nicer. We're doing some more digging on the campsite. We've got cows to feed today, so it's feeling nice and crunchy underfoot, beautiful and clear overhead. So hopefully it's going to be a nicer day, a bit more enjoyable. We've got a kind of misty inversion cloud style today, where the lower land is in the mist and here we're poking out of it. You can just see over there, maybe the hill over there poking out of it, but stunning colours. Very quiet. Very frosty. So we have descended down through the trees and to the highlands here, and it looks like they have pretty much eaten up their bales. So I'm just going to climb in the feeder and get to the middle bit that they sometimes can't reach. This is the last bit of hay. It's lovely stuff. Nicely distributed around the feeders and not too much competition for a space, which is good. You can see the frost still under the wall edges, but it is a much nicer day, and I think make the most of it because we're back to rain tomorrow. I've decided that they like it when it's fluffed up in the feeder, so I'm just fluffing it up a bit at the moment. Quite enjoy doing it as well. If you're having a bit of a bad day or a sad day, normally doing this makes me feel a little bit better. Just looking at their faces and listening to them. Conditions this morning really are not nice. The hood is tied up because of the wind blowing into me at such force, and I want to try and stay as dry as I can. I'm just going around the stock. I could go round in the Kubota, but I choose to go round on foot because I feel like moving and just embracing the elements is actually a lot healthier for my mind and body. So whatever the weather, I will do my walk round the stock, and it helps me, especially at this time of year when the days are so short, and you're not necessarily going to spend as much time active outdoors. I find it helps me anyway, because it just forces me to get some movement in, and movement tends to make me feel better, mentally, physically, a healthier person. So I'm going around now, even though it's blowing, it's raining. It's about 8:30 and it's not light at all, really. Visibility not great today, but it's got spooky atmosphere. Unbothered. This bale smells so good. I think that is all for this week's video, so thank you for watching, and as you can see we get a real mixture of weather at this time of year, and look forward to reading your comments, and see you next time. Bye.